Kuntz. Top-rated pizza, sandwiches, and calzones in a full bar make Good to see you again, television family. I hope you had a good Tuesday. We're back out of here for the middle of the week. It is the 6th day of December 2023. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz, your host, and it is Wednesday. The unmistakable theme to Winning Wednesday, as performed by Barbra Streisand, available to download, of course, on iTunes. We love Wednesdays. Special prize for you today, as you know by now, if you've been paying attention. The Leavenworth Village Voices and their Christmas in the Mountains series of concerts are underway. They already did the first one. That was back on December 2nd, last Saturday. They got 2 more shows the Leavenworth Village Voices do at the Snowy Owl Theater in Leavenworth. They'll be taken to the stage again this Saturday, December 10th, and then a special show with Bozaya, a special guest artist, Bozaya, great lady and a great group. They're going to combine forces for a special show on the 16th, and we have 4 tickets to the lucky winner, and it's for either show. You can either go to the show on the 10th or the special show with Bozaya on the 16th. Doesn't matter to us. It's entirely up to you, so you have some flexibility. 4 tickets to one lucky winner to go see the Leavenworth Village Voices either on December 10th at the Snowy Owl Theater or on December 16th at the Snowy Owl Theater with special guest Bozaya. Give me an email, winner@ncwlife.com. That's how you enter. You send me an email, winner@ncwlife.com. As you know by now, you can enter more than once if you have more than one email address. You can enter more than once, but you can't enter all the time, over and over again, constantly with one email address. That doesn't work, and we do keep track of these things. And employees of Soleon Communications, Soleon Broadcasting and Local Telecommunications are not eligible. Sorry me, I can't win. Maybe I should. Anyway, you want to go get yourself in the Christmas spirit, see the Leavenworth Village Voices either on the 10th or the 16th. Your choice at the Snowy Owl Theater. Send in me an email and we'll do the winner a little bit later on today. It is very mild. It is 37 degrees outside of our studios with lots of clouds and fog and mist and some light rain. So our temperature right now at 37 is our normal afternoon high. We're going to be in the lower 40s today and again Thursday, close to it on Friday, and then snow Saturday. 2 to 3 inches possible here on the valley floor on Saturday. We'll have that weather forecast for you because we think it's important. Also the news because we think it's important. Sports isn't that important, but it's fun. It's like the toy box of the world. A great night for almost all the local basketball teams, collegiate-wise anyway. And speaking of sports, in the back half of the program, our very own Eric Granstrom had a chance to sit down and talk to the Wenatchee High School girls volleyball team, WIAA State 4A champions. They won it 40 years ago in November of 1983, and they won it in November of 2023. Great conversation with a talented group of volleyball players with Eric in the back half of the program, and we begin our tour with whatever it is that we can see on this cloudy and misty and foggy day. That's lifted a lot just in the last 2 minutes. We were, again, Uriah and I go through the cameras about 10 minutes before we go on the air. That did not look like it does now 10 minutes ago. It was very much fogged over. That's from, of course, our Wenatchee Heights camera, not far from the cross. So it's still raining and it's still foggy and still cloudy, but at least visibility has improved a great deal. Let's see if that's the same going to downtown Wenatchee to the roof of the Cascadian. And it is. As a matter of fact, you can see a little bit of Bob's Classic down there in the corner. This is on the Cascadian. We're looking at Mission Street. Pretty light traffic. Of course, the roadways are a little wet because the continuing rain and the snow melt. Snow's almost all but gone here in the Wenatchee Valley. There's still pockets of snow in some locations, but pretty much out of here now. Although we're getting another round this weekend. Rock Island looks something like this. Ooh, that's cool, our Rock Island camera, we think. Pretty sure it's the Rock Island camera, not 100% sure. Not quite enough ambient light for that to change from black and white to color, but good morning to our friends just to the southeast of us. And finally, Omi Garden camera. Yeah. Now, 10 minutes ago, that was clear. And now it's 5 minutes into the program, and that's all you can see from our Omi Garden camera. You can barely make out the Stemilk Growers Complex, so I guess the clouds and the fog are kind of hit and miss. Rain's going to continue today. But again, as we mentioned already, snow will be coming our way. Once we get through this, we still have a flood advisory, 2 slides to show for you. Rain and snow melt through the rest of the day today. If you live in the green area that you see there, you have a flood advisory through tonight. It is scheduled to expire at 10 o'clock. Most of the area flooding, and it's going to be very minor, if at all, is not going to be really from the rain. It's going to be from the melting snow in the higher elevations, because they got a lot of snow in the mountains, as you know, over the weekend and really into this week. And then here comes the snow. A cold and wet system is heading our way for the weekend. So snow right back here to the Wenatchee Valley. It's going to be heavy snow again in the mountains. They're going to get a lot of snow. Mission Ridge, Stevens, I-90, Blewett. Get ready for some more snow. Leavenworth, Lake Wenatchee. And here in the Wenatchee Valley, 1, 2, maybe 3 inches of snow. All of it probably Saturday afternoon into Saturday night. In fact, here it is in detail from the National Weather Service. Rain today, more rain. High of about 42. Rain tonight starts to taper off. We'd like that. The snow level is going to drop down to about 2,600 feet, but the moisture will be gone too. So not expecting any snow or rain tonight. 34 for the overnight low. Mostly cloudy, snow level hovering about 2,200 feet, but very little rain really expected on Thursday. We start drying out Thursday with a high of 42. 1 day of sunshine, don't get used to it, with a high of about 40. All of those temperatures are above normal by actually quite a bit. And then Saturday, how about some snow? Afternoon snow level at about 1,200 feet. In the Wenatchee Valley, about 1 inch near the valley floor to about 3 inches in the upper elevations. So we are going to get some snow that's going to stick around a little bit on the ground. Snow level goes up to 3,200 feet on Saturday night. Slight chance of snow on Sunday. A little bit of snow melt, as you can see, with highs hovering right around the freezing mark on Sunday and Monday. So snow's back this weekend, Saturday afternoon for sure. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have your news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here. I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price. All is merry and all is bright on this day of gladness. Sing and celebrate with delight, goodwill and cheer. Walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he's Parson Brown. All is merry and bright.
Clouds and fog are prevalent, raining lightly, 37 degrees, lower 40s with rain and clouds all day today. Rain starts to taper off on Thursday, sunshine Friday, snow on Saturday. 9 minutes after the hour, an early morning structure fire on Tuesday destroyed a couple of parked recreational vehicles and damaged a third. This happened out in Malaga. Fortunately, nobody was injured. The Wenatchee Valley Fire Department says it was summoned at about 3:18 yesterday morning to the 3700 block of Baynard Road. That's where the RVs, which were parked next to each other, were stored. Both were fully involved. A third RV suffered light exterior damage before the crews actually were able to extinguish that blaze. It took about a half an hour to bring the fire under control. The cause of that fire is under investigation. The Republican Party in Douglas County is turning its back on their congressional representative, 4th District Congressman Dan Newhouse. The county chair of Douglas County, Cindy Wright, says the GOP Central Committee suspended its own rules against endorsing a primary candidate to give the nod to Jared Sessler. He's a former congressional candidate from Prosser. Sessler previously ran in the 2022 Republican primary against Newhouse, says he's going to do it again next year. Douglas County Republican leaders previously condemned Newhouse for voting to impeach former President Donald Trump. They became the first countywide party in the 4th District to endorse Sessler. Chelan County PUD begins its relicensing project later on this month. It's time to relicense what you see on your screen, Rock Island Dam. The current 40-year license from the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, they authorize the PUD to generate power at the dam. That license is set to expire in 2028. The deadline for the licensing application is at the end of 2026. Under the new license, the PUD will be required to invest in protection, mitigation, and enhancement of the project. If it all goes well, a new license should be issued in January of 2029. The Community Foundation of North Central Washington is one of the most important, if not the most important, central hub for charitable giving throughout the region, not only this time of the year, but any time of the year. But this time of the year, it is the Give NCW campaign. Started Thanksgiving, goes through the rest of the year. They raise money for nonprofits in the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington. I sat down with Beth Stipe, who's the director of the Community Foundation. Says go to their website. You can contribute, donate to all the nonprofits at once, or you can individually pick out the nonprofit you want to donate to.
We actually had a donor that came in yesterday, and he brought a list with him. He had gone through we have this lovely little holiday gift guide. You can also find it on our website. And so he had gone through and he looked around and he brought his list in of 14 different organizations. And so we helped him just spread it out amongst those. And the great thing is that if you give online, the software allows you the opportunity to pay the credit card fee. But if you choose not to do that, we actually have donors who step up and take care of those credit card fees, so that every dollar that has been pledged to a nonprofit goes to that nonprofit.
Now, the nonprofit organizations, and when you go to the website, you're going to see them all. You're going to recognize all of them, yes. I guarantee you, and there's a bunch of them. These are all vetted through
Correct.
your organization. So talk about that process. Who gets the golden ticket to get on your website?
Well, this is open to any not-for-profit organization that has ever received a grant from our competitive grant-making program, which how that works is that nonprofits will apply to us. They fill out an application. Our Board of Trustees, which is a 28-member board of volunteers from throughout North Central Washington, they go and they visit each and every single one of those. And this year we actually are almost done with the final regional impact grant cycle, and there were 80 applications. Normally we get about 60 a year, so they've been really busy running around North Central Washington visiting with really great organizations.
It's tough decisions to make, because you want to give
Totally.
everybody all the money
Absolutely.
that they could possibly use to continue the good work. So you can't do it, but it's still, I've served on various committees that had to go out and vet fundraisers and vet nonprofits and say, well, we'd like 4,000. We say we can give you 400.
Yeah.
It's not easy to
No.
do, but it still needs to be done.
Absolutely. And you know, it's some organizations may be new and they're just learning, and so they're not quite ready yet, but we always make sure that there are opportunities moving forward. We have several different grant cycles that nonprofits and grant programs that nonprofits can apply for through the foundation, and so you can check out all of those on our website.
And you guys doled out a lot of dough in the last fiscal year, didn't you? Scholarships and
gosh.
I mean, I don't know how you kept track of it all.
Millions and millions of dollars, yeah. So scholarships alone last year were $1.3 million.
When you took over 20 some odd years ago now? How long
Yeah,
have you been
20
at it?
years.
Is this like, this is insane? You never thought 2 decades later you're this big and this successful as an organization?
Well, we certainly hope that that was the case. And, you know, one of the things I think that's just so awesome is that we live in a really generous place. And people here really do care about the nonprofit organizations, the people who live here. And, you know, the community foundations set up to be that conduit to ensure that there are charitable dollars for future generations, and I think that really resonates with people here. We have families who have been here for multiple generations, and they've left legacy gifts that are going to enable future generations to benefit from their generosity, and I think that that's a great thing.
Finally, on this Wednesday, City of East Wenatchee doing their annual Wing Ding, the Wings and Wishes holiday events. In fact, it starts tomorrow from 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock in the evening. You can visit East Wenatchee City Hall, caroling, food vendors. You can get your photo taken with Santa, and you can even get your mug shot taken. It's not as fun as it sounds. It's actually with the East Wenatchee Police Department. It's called the Elf Patrol. It's actually kind of cool. And then this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 3, you can wave goodbye to Santa as he drives through East Wenatchee in the back of a fire truck with a police escort, I might add. And then Santa, of course, has to head back to the North Pole and make sure I get all the presents I deserve this year, because I've been really good, and that is the news, a quarter after the hour. The news with Grant and Eric on the NCAA Life Evening News on television, 5, 6, and 10. Those are the magic times, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. If that doesn't work, you can watch it on the web, because we put our newscast, we post it on our homepage, ncwlife.com, on our YouTube page, and on our Facebook page. And if something out there warrants our attention, you get a hold of us, folks. News tips are always welcome. Email us, news@ncwlife.com. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley, Winning Wednesday edition on the NCW Life channel.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa, or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa today.
Check out clubprocashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
Seventeen minutes after the hour, let's see, the Bulldogs win in women's college basketball, Huskies win, Cougars win. Everybody's winning last night. We'll start out with the ladies, because that's what we think is best. Astera Tuhina scored 18 points, and Bella Mukatateti had 15 to lead 21st-ranked Cougars to a road win. South Dakota State 69-64. Huskies also won a close one at home. They beat Montana State 55-50. 15 points from Delayla Daniels, 13 from Lauren Schwartz. For the men's, from our friends at Les Schwab, 7th-ranked Gonzaga, no trouble. They ran all over Arkansas Pine Bluff and Spokane last night, 111-71. Braden Huff came off the bench to lead with 19 points. Graham Ike had 17, and Washington's Frank Kapanang had a double-double with 16 points and 11 rebounds. Huskies beat Montana State in Seattle. The final there was 85-61. And this is a cool story. The Wenatchee Valley College men and women's basketball teams will be hosting a special event this weekend at the town Toyota Center. It's the Native American Classic. It's the brainchild of the athletic director and the men's basketball coach at Wenatchee Valley College, Matthew Vargas. He says he brought the idea here after doing it down at his old job down in Arizona.
We started it with the youth and had the different tribes come and play summer tournaments. And so, you know, we had Pasquayaki versus Tohono versus Gila River. And it was great fun, a lot of energy. And so we took it, we incorporated the college team down there. When I got the job at Grace Harbor College, we took it out there and had a lot of success with bringing a lot of the Quinault youth onto the Grace Harbor College campus. And now that I'm blessed to be here in Wenatchee, here at Wenatchee Valley College, I wanted to do this last year, but got the job a little bit late. So it's really exciting to have all the different colleges coming in. My colleagues and the other athletic departments around the state have been awesome. We have 7 colleges coming in. We have Northwest Indian College. But the cool part about it is we're achieving our ultimate goal as an institution, as an athletic department, and that we're getting to incorporate the high schools. We got Lake Roosevelt. That press that they run is no joke. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch them play. OMAC, you want to talk about fundamental power, just solid basketball. Will knows all about that. And then we have Hoquiam from the west side, my former assistant, who is Choctaw Blackfoot. He is now heading up that program. His son plays there, and they have a talented young group. And then, of course, we have DeSales. So we're going to have college athletes sitting, enjoying other games alongside Native youth and some young people from around the state. And I think just developing a kinship and learning more about each other is what we want to do. I think we're going to achieve that this weekend.
Wenatchee Valley College has Native Americans on both the girls and men's basketball teams, and Vargas tells us there'll be special ceremonies at the Town Toyota Center both Friday and Saturday night.
12:30 is the first game. At 12 o'clock, there's going to be a prayer blessing, land acknowledgement, and then again at 6, and a parade of the teams. And any young Indigenous baller that wants to represent their tribe, their nation, they can have their flag, but we'll walk around the court. And then on Saturday at 3:15 from Spokane, Megan and her staff set up some drummers and cultural performers to come down, and they'll do a big performance. And then at the halftime of every game after that 2 o'clock game, which features Lake Roosevelt, they will perform, whether it be drumming, singing, dancing, and we're just really excited about it all.
We'll be hearing more from the players over the next couple of weeks. The Native American Classic, by the way, is Friday through Sunday. It's at the Town Toyota Center. Tickets are just $10 for adults, $5 for children. Sounds like a good deal to me. You can get them at the Town Toyota Center box office or on their website, towntoyotacenter.com. Busy night on the hardwoods across the region in prep boys basketball. From our friends at Les Schwab, your winners, Eastmont, Ellensburg, Walla Walla, no problems with Moses Lake, Quincy over Chelan, and OMAC defeated Kashmir. In other scores, Tenaska took down Republic in boys basketball, 79-41. Soap Lake continues its early season dominance. They beat Pateras in a big way. Aniat got by Oroville. Manson topped Moses Lake Christian. Cascade Christian beat Bridgeport, and Lake Roosevelt all over Elmira Cooley Heartline. And for the girls, the Eastmont girls earned their second win of the season. They beat Othello. Moses Lake topped Walla Walla. Chelan got through Quincy, and Kashmir took down OMAC. And Tenasket, they topped Republic. Lake Roosevelt down to Elmira Cooley Heartline. Orville over Aniat in girls basketball. Manson blows out Moses Lake Christian. Bridgeport beat Cascade Christian, and Pateras over Soap Lake. Wenatchee remains undefeated in girls bowling yesterday. They swept Davis. They won the first 2 games, 823-531, and then 845-590. They won the 2 Bakers, 194-108 and 168-107. Charlene Campbell rolled a 222. Ava Porter had a 202. They were the high bowlers for the Panthers and the Wenatchee Panther girls volleyball team. Of course, as you know by now, they won the state 4A championship back in November, an unbelievable season. Junior Ava Jo Berry said there was a feeling something special could be achieved right at the start of the season.
Yeah, I think looking back at it, it was easy to realize that during the summer when we started training and started finding our bond as a team, it became known that we had a special thing going on. And when we started winning tournaments like the crossover, getting second soiree, those were all big deals for us, but we had the state goal in mind, and even just not even on the court but off the court was more of a special bond, and I think that's what got us how far.
Jordan McGregor is the head coach. She's just in her first year. That's not bad. Year 1, win a state championship, and she said high goals were expected throughout the season.
And we had summer goals. I mean, we went to a couple tournaments in the summertime, and we had goals there. And then as we came into season, I mean, very first day, very first week, that's something that we sit down and talk about, is setting those not individual goals, but also as team goals. And just that way there's always something that we're working towards. And they tend to like trend with the later in the season. So, you know, winning the Sundome tournament, that was our first goal. Winning the crossover, that was the next one. Going undefeated in league, winning districts, not losing, you know, they all just trend down as the season progresses. And we did pretty well on that this year, which is cool.
Senior Jess McIrvin says each member of the team pushed every other member of the team to get better.
I think it is incredibly important to have every single girl on the team be fully bought in and fully willing to work to achieve goals like this, you know? Like, it doesn't just come from the people on the court working, it comes from the team bond off the court, which we emphasize as a team immensely. We have team dinners, we have team activities, we all love on each other and communicate with each other. And it is really important when you go into an environment as big as the Sun Dome and there's people watching you everywhere to have, you know that your teammates have got your back every single step of the way.
Eric Granstrom's complete conversation with the state champion Wenatchee Panthers. That's so fun to say. We'll hear in the back half of the program, and those are just some of the games that people are playing on the 6th day of December, 2023. If you're up for it, for the obscure holiday, you can celebrate St. Nicholas Day. You can celebrate Put On Your Own Shoes Day. I don't make these up. It's National Pawnbrokers Day. It's National Gazpacho Day, if you like cold soup. I do not. For you folks in Finland, happy Independence Day. And for you folks in the Ukraine, it's Army Day. But today we celebrate National Microwave Oven Day. And there's a rare photo of my mom with our first microwave oven. I'm just kidding. The microwave oven, invented by, who was it? Oh, Percy Spencer. Percy Spencer back in 1946. Percy Spencer had like a second grade education, but he really knew a lot about radar. And one day in 1946, he was standing next to a radar type machine and the candy bar in his pocket melted. And he said, I think I got something here. And Percy Spencer basically invented the microwave oven. He ended up getting about 300 patents, but didn't get any money for inventing the microwave oven because he worked for Raytheon at the time, and that was the deal. If you work for Raytheon, the guy who invents it doesn't get the patent, the company does. They gave him $2, believe it or not. Thanks for inventing something that's going to make Amana and all these other companies really, really rich. The big game changer happened in the 1970s and 80s, where microwaves got smaller and smaller and smaller and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And now they are everywhere. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. It's not the birthday of the microwave oven. It's just National Microwave Oven Day today. And I will celebrate Microwave Oven Day today by using my microwave oven like I would do on any typical Wednesday. Happy National Microwave Oven Day today in history. Let's see, it was on this date 139 years ago, after a big delay, they finally got around to finishing that thing. December 6th, 1884, Washington Monument is completed. It is 555 5 1/8 inches tall, in case you're curious about that. They started building it in 1848, and then they stopped in 1854. For two reasons. Number one, they ran out of money, and then there was a dispute on who actually is in charge of the Washington Monument. And then there was this a war from 1860 to 1865, the name of which I forgot. So basically, they built about the first 150 feet of it, and then they quit. And then they got around after the war to building it. And you can tell, if you've ever seen the Washington Monument, in fact, you can even see by looking at the photo behind me, you can see where they stopped and they started, because when they started it again, they used a different kind of marble. They didn't quite match up. And size matters in Washington, D.C. By federal law, no building in our nation's capital can be taller than the Washington Monument, which is 139 years old today. 66 years ago today, a couple of months earlier, in October of 1957, the Soviets beat us to it. They threw up Sputnik, and everybody went, oh, crap. Now, we've been working on artificial satellites, but we weren't expecting this, so here we go. We're going to fire off, and we have footage. We are going to join the Soviets in space by launching our own satellite. I believe we have the footage ready to go. Uriah? There we go. Project Vanguard. It was called the Vanguard TV-3, which would compete with the Soviets. They put Sputnik up in October of 1957. We fast-tracked ours. There it is. There's the Vanguard TV-3. It's in there, that gold thing. And in Cape Canaveral, in the middle of the afternoon, we're going to join the Soviets and go off to space. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Suck on that, Khrushchev. We are oh, crap. Uh-oh. And boom. Needless to say, the launch pad explosion for the Vanguard TV-3 was a bit of a setback. By the way, they never did figure out what caused the explosion. They had a bunch of theories. The satellite itself got thrown clear, but it was too damaged to be used again. We tried again in February, and we eventually did it. Anyway, we didn't do it. Let's move forward to, and there's the headline afterwards. Oops. Altamont, the free concert from the Rolling Stones and others. December 6, 1969 at the Altamont Speedway, about 30 miles east of San Francisco. It's no longer there. The Hells Angels were hired as security by the Rolling Stones. That was their first mistake. 18-year-old fan Meredith Hunter was stabbed to death by members of the Hells Angels, and there was a lot of going on. 3 people died. There were various drug overdoses. Somebody died in a hit-and-run accident. One person high on LSD fell into the irrigation canal and drowned. Cars were stolen. Didn't work out very well. The Rolling Stones free concert at Altamont on this date in 1969. And finally, the 25th Amendment goes into effect for the first time, is implemented a couple of weeks earlier. The Senate had voted to approve Gerald R. Ford to replace Spiro T. Agnew as the vice president. Senate did that on November 27th. The House got around to doing that on this date in 1973. The vote was 387 to 35. Keep in mind, he spent his entire political career as a member of the House of Representatives, and then he was sworn in as vice president that afternoon, December 6th, 1973, and some birthdays. Dave Brubeck, born in this state 103 years ago, the pianist and the leader of the Dave Brubeck Quartet. Time Out became the biggest selling jazz album ever. I think it is still one of the biggest selling jazz albums ever. A unique tune. Of course, Take 5 is written in 5/4 time, which is kind of odd. The great Dave Brubeck. In fact, Time Out, the album Time Out, which came out in 1959, was the first jazz album ever to sell 1 million copies. The great pianist, Dave Brubeck, born in the state in 1920. You remember this guy? Look at the name. Think about it for just a second. If you remember November and December of 1999 and January of 2000, you remember Elian Gonzalez, who was 5 years old. He, his mother, and his mother's boyfriend trying to escape Cuba on a rubber raft. His mother drowned. His mother's boyfriend drowned. He survived. He was found by a couple of Cuban fishermen. He was just 5 years old. He was the only one surviving on the raft. They turned him over to the United States Coast Guard, and thus began one of the great international incidents involving the United States and Cuba. His father remained in Cuba, and eventually the authorities said, you have to return the child to his father in Cuba. You'll just have to read about it. But this guy who caused an international sensation when he was 5 is now 30. Elian Gonzalez, that makes me feel old. And I love Japanese sumo wrestling. As you well know, it's my favorite sport. You know, it's Japanese sumo wrestling, and then baseball, and then competitive dart throwing. So happy 29th birthday to Wakataka Aki Atsuki. He's 29. All right, special thanks to Alpine Air for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. They are proud to be platinum sponsors of this program and the NCWF channel. Of course, if they watch this program, they might pull their sponsorship. It's Winning Wednesday. 4 tickets to see the Leavenworth Village Voices in concert. Send me an email, winner@ncwlife.com, winner@ncwlife.com, 4 tickets, and you can use them for either show. They still got 2 more shows left on their calendar. Saturday, December 10th, this Saturday at the Snowy Owl Theater. That's a fundraiser for Upper Valley Mend. And then on the 16th, a special show with special guest Bozaya. And you can use these tickets for either show. Send me an email, winner@ncwlife.com. Mike Magnotti's opinion is around the corner, and then Eric Grandstrom and the Wenatchee High School State Volleyball Champions. You're watching a Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new mid-size Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, many years ago, when I was a sex crimes investigator, I handled a brutal rape case. Bad enough, but I also found out that the rapist was HIV positive. And back then, AIDS was a death sentence, and you didn't find out if you were infected for 6 months. Well, we did catch the guy, and the gal wasn't infected, and the bad guy died in prison about 5 years later. And when I called the gal to let her know her attacker was dead, she said, "Oh, that's so sad. A wasted human life." Well, smart gal. She didn't let the bad guy take anything more from her, and she had moved on. Here was a gal who had every reason to be angry and bitter, but instead, she let go of her anger and even had compassion for the guy. She's someone who learned when you hold on to your anger resentment, and bitterness, and hold it against someone who has harmed you, it's like eating rat poison and then waiting for the rat to die. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
It's cold outside and time to make sure your loved ones are safe and secure at home during the cold months ahead. Aging in Adult Care has low-cost, in-home care options for seniors, adults with disabilities, and for caregivers assisting relatives or friends. Services like housekeeping, personal care, and home-delivered meals can make such a difference for you or someone you know. These services and more are available by calling Aging in Adult Care's offices at 1-800-572-4459.
In Digital Media Arts program, we learn about video production gear and editing by the combination of class projects and nonprofit work and employment.
It makes things happen.
Yeah.
It's pretty magical.
We work in the industry at the Wenatchee Round, NCW Live Channel, and the Town Toyota Center events. Every day we work with industry standard equipment for a hands-on learning experience.
Imagine a science project being done on the kitchen table. Feel the excitement on Christmas morning as the kids race down the stairs to form memories that cannot be erased. Listen for the laughter coming from the next room. Put your family in a new home to make these visions become reality with Coldwell Banker Cascade. Use the Move Meter entering 2 cities and see how a potential move scores based on the cost of living and other factors. Make your dream place a reality with Coldwell Banker Cascade today.
Thanks for watching the NCW Live channel. I'm Eric Grandstrom, and today we're featuring the champions. That's right, the Wenatchee High School varsity volleyball team that won the WIAA state championship. We're going to have the ladies introduce themselves. We've got Coach Jordan McGregor here as well. First of all, ladies, are you used to that? Are you, I mean, when you hear that, I mean, is it still kind of numb? I mean, you still don't feel it? Or?
It hasn't hit me yet personally.
Okay, before we get going too far, let's have you guys introduce yourselves one at a time.
I'm Bree Sackman and I'm a senior.
I'm Riley Jones and I'm a sophomore.
Hi, I'm Ava Jo Berry and I'm a junior.
I'm Martin Stuber and I'm a junior.
I'm Emmy Tucker and I'm a junior.
My name is Kira Demersion and I'm a junior.
I'm Claire Demersion and I'm a freshman.
I'm Journey Jelsing and I'm a freshman.
I'm Jalen Rasmussen and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Janissa Hepton and I'm a senior.
I'm Jess McIrvin and I'm a senior.
I'm Brevin Lundstrom and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Sienna Nall and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Nikki Reed and I'm a junior.
Well, right away you can tell that the future's bright for Wenatchee High School. Coach, talk about, well, first of all, taking over for Marnie and being handed something like this to try to do what you guys accomplished. Tell me about that off season and getting ready for this whole adventure.
I mean, I had some really big shoes to fill. Marnie holds a special place in my heart. I mean, we're related. She's my aunt. I have played for her. I've coached under her, and I couldn't thank her enough for all that she's taught me and all the lessons I've learned from her. And she had a big part in preparing this team into what we have now. I mean, she took the last 2 seasons to state, and for the girls that have been there before, all that preparation, she also had a huge part in this win. And going into the season, I was nervous, I'm not gonna lie. Big shoes to fill, big program, talented program, and she was supported me all the way. I mean, I called her almost every day after practice, after games. She has always been there for advice for me, and so I couldn't honestly have done this without her.
Now, you assisted in her program before you took over the reins this year. Ladies, talk about that and knowing this face and having that familiar person. Was that big? Because I'm sure at first when you knew that Marnie was not going to be here, that was probably, oh my gosh, what are we going to do?
It wasn't much of a change for me since she was our assistant coach last year. She already had a big role in our coaching. So I trusted her. I knew she was going to do things right.
This offseason, I mean, I know that you guys are not just high school volleyball, right? So that preparation and coming into this season, and did you know that you had a chance to do something pretty special like this?
Yeah, I think looking back at it, it was easy to realize that during the summer when we started training and started finding our bond as a team, it became known that we had a special thing going on. And when we started winning tournaments like the crossover, getting second soiree, those were all big deals for us, but we had the state goal in mind, and even just not even on the court but off the court was more of a special bond, and I think that's what got us how far that we came. Yeah.
Now, I heard in the past, and I don't know if this is true or not, but if girls played volleyball here at Wenatchee, then that's all you did. You played volleyball, you didn't play any other sports. Is that true? No? Okay, all right.
Not for this crew.
So do you guys do other things, or is volleyball pretty much it?
Yeah, there's a couple of us that do. Me and Ava and Riley actually right now are all in the basketball program. And there's a couple other people that do track and tennis. And honestly, I think that is why we have a big reason why we have been so successful. A lot of us are multi-sport athletes. There's beach volleyball too, Kira and Claire and Emmy. And so I just think we kind of have a group of athletic girls, which transfers well to playing volleyball.
Okay, so I'll let you hand the microphone down a little bit further and talk about that beach aspect. Now, aside from just Wenatchee High School, we had a state champion in Manson, we had a state champion in Chelan, and I understand that there's a connection there for a program outside of school, right?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Actually, most of the people who played for Manson and Chelan were beach volleyball players. Even Wenatchee, we have a big group how everyone has played beach at some point, and I think that really transfers onto the court. We learn a lot of things through beach that transfer to indoor really well, and I actually my beach is my main thing, so being able to go into indoor with all the things that I learned through beach and with Coach Des at K Beach over in Chelan really helps me transfer onto the indoor side.
Now, during the season, we had a chance to broadcast a few of your matches, and I know you said one of the goals that was set, and I want to talk to you more about goal setting, was not to lose a set in Big Nine play. One, you lost one, and that's it. And that came late in the season, right?
Second round when we played West Valley.
Yeah. Goal setting. So when you first got together with these, when was that? I mean, August? When did you guys get together to start getting ready for this season?
Yeah, I mean, so starting June 1st, we can start coaching girls in our program for the upcoming season. And we had summer goals. I mean, we went to a couple tournaments in the summertime, and we had goals there. And then as we came into season, I mean, very first day, very first week, that's something that we sit down and talk about, is setting those not individual goals but also as team goals. And just that way there's always something that we're working towards, and they tend to like trend with the later in the season. So, you know, winning the Sun Dome tournament, that was our first goal. Winning the crossover, that was the next one. Going undefeated in league, winning districts, not losing, you know, they all just trend down as the season progresses, and we did pretty well on that this year, which is cool.
So the only loss you guys had was to G-Prep, right? So tell me about what that did for you guys. Because some coaches will say, you know, actually losing is a good thing at some point because that kind of helps focus. So that's up to anybody. Talk about responding and coming back from the G-Prep loss.
I think G-Prep was honestly a humbling night for us, and like you said, an important night as well, because like being able to transfer the loss gave us motivation and an idea of what competition might look like in our future. So I think after we took that loss, it kind of acted as a fuel for us in practice to really understand the competition we'd be facing later and work on some things that maybe we weren't able to see in some of our league games. So yeah.
You guys had great support. There was a ton of people that came down to watch you guys win that state championship, and I'm sure that's pretty cool. What is it like to see this program? And I know some of you have been playing since you were a freshman, long time here with the Panthers. To see that crowd support, to see that continuation through the state title, I mean, what does that mean for you guys?
I think it's a really big influencer into our play when we have fans like that are so supportive and show up. We did actually get a Rooter bus on the first day of state, and so we did expect people to come that day, and we encouraged people to come. But for me at least, I don't know if many other people can agree with this, but I didn't text anybody really for the state championship. I was like all zoned in, so I didn't even think about the crowd. And so when we walked out there for the opening ceremony and looked back and saw like our whole community behind us kind of wrapping around, it was just a big, almost stress relief to know, like, even if it was kind of an unconscious message that they were sending us, that like, we're here for you, we're supporting you, and we're excited to watch you guys perform.
Does it help to play and win in Yakima in that setting to come back for the state tournament, you know, a couple months later? I mean, does that help?
It's definitely a great use of visualization and kind of getting yourself in the headspace. I know throughout the season, we started at the Sundome crossover, and so that was an early on before season event, and it was very helpful to be able to, I don't know if you've ever been in the Sundome, but the depth perception is completely off. Mm-hmm. The ceiling is so high, it's loud, it's echoey, so it's a lot different than a gym just in our high school.
Well, and playing on that sport court is also different, right? I mean, you don't get the lift maybe that you normally would, you know, playing at home.
Yep, it's definitely, there's a lot of different aspects, and so being able to have an event and do that early on, like the crossover, it's amazing, and it's super influential for us going into state to know what it looks like, know what it feels like, and be able to implement that into our play.
Coach, you had a chance to go with these girls to state a couple of years in a row. How do you manage that I don't know, angst of waiting 2 weeks before you can play? That would drive me nuts.
It's hard. I think the hardest part too is, you know, there's all the other leagues. We're the only league that does that, and so all the other leagues get some high-level play all the way up to the Saturday before brackets come out. And so, you know, one thing that we really focused on as a team was making sure we were doing a lot of bonding things. That way, you know, spending 2 weeks of just practicing, it gets old, it gets tiring. You start getting on each other's nerves, which is completely normal. And so we just tried to focus on the bonding aspect and being grateful for the extra time we had and taking it as the advantage. Like, we might not be getting the game stuff that all the other leagues are getting, but we had 2 weeks to just fine-tune some small skills that a lot of teams didn't get to do. And so I think that's what actually worked out in our advantage, was we were able to just really work on some one-on-one skills that you don't normally work on throughout the season. That's more summer stuff and off-season stuff. And I think that's what really came down to helping us at the end. I mean, there's pros and cons to both, but I think at the end we did a really good job at making sure we were staying bonded and working on fine-tuning those skills.
Well, any coach will tell you that it doesn't happen without the entire team. Football, doesn't matter what sport it is, you got to have the scout team, you got to have those to practice against and things like that. Ladies, how important are these gals behind you in those 2 weeks, especially leading up to state and getting ready and you know, having that competitive level? I mean, and if you guys want to talk, you're welcome to do so. I'd like to hear from you as well. How important is that to have an entire team help with this movement?
So every girl on this team is so talented, and Coach has said this many times, but if they would be playing for any other team in our league, they would have made varsity, they would have been starting. So they all have like different aspects to them that is super important in our game, and they're all super competitive, and no matter who you play against each other, it's always going to be a competitive game. And I think that's super important because most of our competitiveness this year came from just us scrimmaging each other.
I want to hear from somebody in the back row, whoever wants to hold up their hand and talk. I know my niece played for Ritzville this year. They went to the state tournament. She didn't get to play at all in the Sun Dome. They played for the state championship. They ended up finishing second. But what I was most impressed about with my niece is that she was so energetic from the bench. I want to hear from you to talk about how important that is to support these girls while they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is incredibly important to have every single girl on the team be fully bought in and fully willing to work to achieve goals like this, you know? Like, it doesn't just come from the people on the court working, it comes from the team bond off the court, which we emphasize as a team immensely. We have team dinners, we have team activities, we all love on each other and communicate with each other. And it is really important when you go into an environment as big as the Sun Dome and there's people watching you everywhere to have, you know, that your teammates have got your back every single step of the way. Even, I mean, from the bench, I get as much satisfaction seeing my teammates put a ball away than were it me having passed that ball on the court. And I love the selflessness and the just dedication from every single girl and all of our teammates to help and love and support on each of us as we go into something as big as that. And so it was incredibly important, and I think it paid off.
Do you guys have a particular cheer or a little routine you do?
We do.
That's kind of a thing, right?
Yes, we all have, I have handshakes with half the girls on here, and
Okay.
we all do, we have all of our little pregame rituals and little things that we do, yeah. I think all of those contribute to the bond and the team like dynamic that just makes it so great.
Okay, who's the loudmouth? Everybody points at you. Is that true?
Yeah, I guess I always have a lot to say.
Okay, like what?
I would say typically my thing is that I really enjoy just like reminding the team that like, I mean, just essentially like we got this, like, you know, we may be down right now, but kind of like we were talking about earlier, like this team is special, and like throughout like any game or any tournament we've ever been through, like I've genuinely never been concerned that like we weren't going to pull through. So I think that's typically, it's mostly just, you know, little reminders about things that we need to fix, or just reminders of like, oh, this is going super great, like keep that up.
Yeah.
Like just that kind of
I think that impacts us more as fans watching, because we're helpless. We can do nothing. And 5 sets in the championship, and you know, it's like, oh my gosh. And Riley, you got to talk here. I'm going to have you talk, because I think there was, 2 points in a row, you ended up getting the kill for the state championship. Congratulations on that. But that emotion, how do you not just completely wig out?
If I'm being honest, I wasn't really thinking when it happened. Like, it was kind of just like in the moment, like just swing, don't think, and it's like you have to swing on game point, even if, because you have to swing to win.
It's just another point, right?
Yeah.
And does that come from repetition, and that comes from practice, and that comes from this entire grind from August to now?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So, Ava, I want to ask you a question. Ava Jo, I asked her this in the hallway here a while back. I said, okay, Ava or Ava Jo? Ava Jo. I want to make sure I get that right. In that championship match, did you know? I mean, I know you guys scout the other teams, you know who you might face and things like that. Did you know going in, all right, we can take these guys?
Based on the momentum we had in the past few games, I didn't know the result that we were going to come out on top, but I knew that we were going to give every single ounce of effort and everything we had from every single girl. North Creek, they weren't suspected to win the game before that, and I think we weren't really more focused on them, but just more focused on us. Based on the pregame in the locker room, we spent some time visualizing, getting hyped, throwing out our best dance moves, and so I think leading up, it was more, we had faith in each other, and we knew that we were going to give it all more than the actual result, but the fact that we did come out on top felt like was very deserving. So.
Okay, show of hands. In those moments, who wants the ball? Who wants the ball to come to them?
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. See, and that's it, right? I mean, that's the difference between winning and losing, right?
Yeah, I think it's really special that we have so many options available, and as a setter, I had so much trust in each and every person, no matter what position they were in, what the score was, or anything like that.
So do you retire now? I mean, your first year in, you win a state title, for God's sake. Oh, please no. The underclassmen are saying, no, please.
No, this is such a special group, and I mean, we're losing some pretty special seniors, and it's, you know, Panther volleyball is not going to be the same without them, but this program has a very bright future. We got a lot of young kids who I want to see them get their moments and get their times to shine, and I'm excited for the future of Panther volleyball and just ready to get back to it. I mean, as great as it is, I mean, we ended on a great win, but I'm sad it's over. This is such a special group, and as long as, you know, the practices were and the season was, now that it's over, I think we can all agree that we would take that extra 2 weeks all over again.
Well, ladies, congratulations. This is a big deal. In fact, I was going through it. This is the 6th state championship ever for Wenatchee High School. Can you tell me which team won 3? Which sport?
Football. Soccer. Swimming. Tennis.
Girls bowling. Yes.
As it should be.
So power.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Thank you for taking us on this ride with you and letting us be part of it, a little sliver of it, and for representing this valley and this school so well. There you go. It matters. Keeping score matters. And if you don't know what the score is, then you don't know who won. So make sure the score is in your favor. We're with the champions here on the NCW Life Channel.
Mount Stewart Physical Therapy is all new. New staff, new therapists, and a fabulous new chiropractor. That's right, you do not need to drive to Wenatchee or Kashmir for your care. Come see Dr. Zolman, DC. No referral needed for most insurances. Open your auto and work injury claims with us, or fax your post-op and Medicare therapy prescriptions to us right here in town. We offer covered pelvic floor services. We are premium health care for the Upper Valley. Improve your quality of life today. Mount Stewart Integrative Therapy and Chiropractic.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
Shoot, I think I left my keys in the kitchen. Can you grab them?
Yep.
Find out?
What's this?
It's a locking bag. It keeps Grandma's medication safe.
But I could just take it.
Well, for one thing, it locks. And if it were gone, I know there's a problem.
Huh. Well played.
Help prevent opioid misuse before it starts. Visit getthefaxrx.com.
All right, still 37 degrees. That's what the temperature was here in the valley when we started this program an hour ago, and that is our normal afternoon high. We're going to be in the 40s again, actually for the next few more days. Sunshine Friday, and then check out this weekend, especially Saturday afternoon. On Saturday, we are going to get some snow. The snow level is going to be about 1,200 feet. Point of reference, where the Columbia River flows right through the middle of the Wenatchee Valley, it is at about 600 feet above sea level. So right around 1,200, maybe 1,000 feet is going to be the snow level on Saturday. So anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of snow right here in the Wenatchee Valley, and a lot of snow, heavy snow in the mountains. They've been pounded with lots of snow. Then it switched over to rain. Temperatures in the mountain passes were in the 40s yesterday, which is why there is still a flood advisory for some locations. All of that moisture is going to taper off when we get to Thursday. It'll be dry and sunny on Friday, and then another system comes in. We're talking maybe moderate travel problems, perhaps on Saturday night. We got to get there first. From the National Weather Service, it looks something like this. Rain, yep, going to do it again today. Another day with the sun taking the day off. About 42, 43 for the afternoon high. Rain tonight, yeah, it's going to be off and on. Now, the snow level is going to go down to 2,600 feet, but that's above us, so I'm not too worried about that. Slight chance of rain on Thursday. We start drying out for sure Thursday night. Friday, lots of sunshine. And then Saturday, especially Saturday afternoon, we're looking at some snow and a high of only about 30. And so, yeah, there you go. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. And we will see you tomorrow. Till then, bye-bye.